friends and fans out on Facebook right now. What's happening, everybody out there on Facebook? It's yours truly, Mike Marino, with another edition of Live from My Mother's Basement. I got the big sign. I'm so excited about tonight's show because, as you could tell, the gentleman next to me looks just like me because I'm related. It happens to be my father. That's right. I got my father, Mike Marino Sr., on the show. We're starting the show off tonight wearing masks because they say Make America Italian again, and the shirts say Marino 2024 because we sell the masks and the shirts on the internet. So we're going to have some fun with that. But my father and I both have been tested negative for COVID-19. So let us breathe. That.
So here we are in the basement. This is the basement that I grew up in under the tutelage of my father, who was the guy who put this bar together originally back in God knows what time. And also the house, the basement itself, the brick, the mortar, where we ate, where we slept, what we did, and had fun. So right now we're down here, we're having some fun, and I hope everybody's ready to giggle and laugh and talk about what's going on in the world. So let's set up the show right off the bat by saying hello to my dad. Hey, Dad, I hope you're having a good time. Thank you for coming down.
Thanks for inviting me.
Sorry that we have to go through this mess of a world that my father, well, he gets tested all the time because my father's a crossing guard at one of the schools not too far from this house.
Right.
So he has to go out and get the test all the time just in case they say, oh, come back to school, school's open. And I get tested because I travel a little bit every once in a while. Plus, when I have somebody on the show, we all protect each other, especially here on the show, Live from My Mother's Basement, and my producer who's in Los Angeles. We do everything that's right. The place is clean. Everything gets wiped down. Everybody washes their hands. We have a couple of snacks. We make sure we're tested. We're negative, and away we go. Besides, I would always protect my father. And sounds like somebody's coming into the house right now, right on time. It's always the same shit. But anyway, we're going to talk to my father. We're going to have some fun. Right now, let's ask my father what he's having to drink before we get into tonight's conversation. Go ahead and pour yourself a nice glass of that wine. Go figure, an Italian guy drinking a glass of red wine while he's here in the basement. Let me have that bottle. Cheers, Dad.
Absolutely.
He nicely wants to have a nice glass of red wine. I happen to be drinking beer tonight, and I know my father likes this beer. This is Miller High Life Genuine Draft from back in the day. But I thought it would be funny to reignite this beer. Do you remember drinking this beer when you were younger? Miller.
Absolutely.
Miller High Life.
It's the only kind there was.
Yeah, this is probably the only beer that was. This beer
Yeah.
is older than you.
Yes.
All right, so let me pop that open. And like we discussed last week on last week's show, look at this antique can opener. I'll put this to my father because we had a lot of people write in what this was and what it was used for way back when. And not only did it open up the bottle tops, but it opened up the cans. You remember what can this was used for?
Sure.
Well, you want to extend on that?
Yeah, the old-fashioned beer cans.
Oh, that's even more trippy. I wasn't expecting you to say that. The old-fashioned beer can. We were talking about the sauce cans. We were talking about high C cans. But beer came in a can that you'd pop it this way?
At one time, yeah.
No kidding.
Long time ago.
Yeah. All right, well, let me pop it this way for you. Cheers. Happy un-COVID we are. Of course, this is hard, what's going on in the world today, for the senior citizens. My father and his clan, his friends, are doing really good when it comes to this. He's always doing the right thing. He's wearing his masks. He stays away from everybody, but he's that type of guy. He don't want to be near anybody anyway. He's kind of one of those old schools. That guy says, you know what? Now I can't be near you, but when I could be near you, I want to be near you anyway. It's okay to laugh. You can all laugh as loud as you want. You already made a bunch of noise when you were coming in the front door. Every once in a while, people come to watch the show here in the basement. We used to have 20, 30 people come down here. Now we have one or two that are sitting very far away from us. And they're filled with masks and stuff like that. But, being a performer in front of nobody sucks. Because I'm used to performing in front of thousands of people. And I like to have a lot of different people come on the show and have some fun and ask stupid questions. So we're going to do that in a little while. See all the people who are writing into the show right now?
Yes.
See the guy? Everybody's saying hello to you. Say hello, Mikes.
Hello.
Hey, well, you don't have, yeah, okay, you could say hello if you want to. But these people are writing in from, look, here's Florida, there's Australia. For those people who are listening to the show right now, just on iTunes, I have my father on the show here on Facebook Live and Instagram Live, and people are writing into the show to say hello, because this is the first appearance that Mike Marino Sr. There goes South Philly. Isn't that cool?
You got it.
Yeah. Don't look at the guy in the audience. He's a piece of shit. Okay, great.
Ah.
It's my show. I can say what I want. Anyway, so what's going on in the world today? We're going to talk to my father about. I'm sure that he's been around so long in the world that he didn't think anything like this was actually going to come. So right now, we're going to go into the rant that everybody wants to talk about and ask me, what do I think about the Capitol and the people who rushed to get into the Capitol, especially my favorite actor. Did you see my actor who rushed into the Capitol? Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
Yeah. From Braveheart?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Wasn't that great?
Yes.
Remember when he was in that movie Braveheart?
Yes, yes,
Well,
yes.
he stormed the Capitol the other day.
Oh, boy.
Did you see him?
Yes.
He had the hatchet and the horns.
Yes.
It's Mel Gibson.
I know.
Hold on a minute. It's a comedy show. It's a joke. Please let me know that the people out there think that's funny. Because the people in the basement have no idea how fucking hilarious that just was. I said the castle was stormed by Mel Gibson. Please. I watched it. I'm making a joke of what happened in the fucking Capitol building. Do you get the joke, Dad?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah, you got it. It wasn't Mel Gibson.
It wasn't, no.
No, I know. Oh, boy, this is why we don't have studio audiences anymore. We should play Jeopardy. We all would have lost.
Yeah. What?
Nothing.
Got any more trick questions?
Yes, I got a lot of trick questions. Mel Gibson was also the director of Passion of the Christ, remember?
Yes.
Look this way. Aunt Joan, don't answer the questions. My Aunt Joan is here too. This is just ridiculous. We should just have the whole family on the show and I should go someplace else. In fact, there's your daughter, Joanna. Your mother's here. She's answering all the questions. She's screwing up the show.
How do you know she's there?
Because I could read.
Oh. Pretty far.
She's far. She's 2 doors down. She should have just came over. My father knows all about the movie The Passion of the Christ because he just told me a little while ago this was in his bedroom when he was a kid. We were talking about this. And I asked my father, where is this from? And he said this was in his bedroom when he was a kid in Jersey City, belonged to your mom.
Grandmother first.
That's how old this statue is.
Right.
His grandmother, my great-grandmother, had this in their house. Now, how old would you say you would have been when you first saw the scary face on Jesus?
In diapers.
All right? Isn't it funny how the world changed? You ask somebody these days, how old were you when you saw this? They'd say 6 or 7. Back in those days, he said diapers. He was in diapers. Not that many people understand that. That meant he was still shitting his pants.
Good.
And if you're a little kid and you see this in your bedroom, you shit your pants. Anybody would shit their pants if they saw this statue. Look, he's going for the wine. Making like a biblical statement here. If this was in your house when you were in diapers, that means this is at least 80 years old.
At least.
And if great-grandma had it, this is probably 90 years old. So if this is 90 years old, what would that date be? From the 1940s, right? 3 people in this room just looked at their calculator in their phone.
The 30s.
30s?
Yeah,
You think this was from the 30s?
sure.
Yeah. If anybody out there is watching this show, this is for sale. It's from the 1930s. And it's worth $1,000. Mel Gibson wants to buy it. He's making another movie, Passion of the Christ Part 2, The Revenge. And he's also going to make another movie, Braveheart, We Take Over the Capitol. I love this audience. Absolutely no laughter whatsoever. I'm quitting the business. Things obviously were a lot different when my father was younger. When you were younger, it was almost impossible that anybody would charge the Capitol building, right?
Whoever heard of it?
Whoever heard of it?
Never.
Meaning like it never would have took place.
No.
People had more respect for each other back in the day, right?
Oh my God, yeah. Definitely.
People dressed nicer,
More respect.
a lot of respect.
Yeah.
People opened the door for each other.
Yes.
There was no massive protesting, right?
No.
You never saw like a riot in the street, did you?
No.
You can elaborate on any of these questions whenever you want. You could just like talk, bang it out. Great. Maybe a couple more drinks. We're going to get him really excited. He's always been a one-answer guy. We'll get him a couple more drinks. I mean, you've been watching the news about what happened, and everybody was knocking down the Capitol building, and you were probably next door over at Aunt Jones.
Yeah, but I keep saying a prayer for Trump.
Oh, you're praying for Trump?
Yeah, I feel bad for him because I'm sure he didn't expect what happened.
Oh, well, okay. We really don't go into politics, especially down that road, because you have to understand my father's 84 years old. That statement meant he feels sorry because there's something might go wrong. He doesn't realize that maybe Trump, a little too much, causing what happened. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Gotta
Absolutely.
watch what you say.
Right. And he didn't say the right thing.
Okay, then. It's possible. Possibilities. See, we take sides in the middle. We go down the middle. If you watch half of my stand-up routines, you'll realize that I'm a middle taker. I was running for president. That's why we're wearing these shirts. Because I didn't make it in 2020, so we're going to try again in 2024. Now, if I become president in 2024, the Capitol building never would have been hit like that, because we would relocate the Capitol building to an area where nobody would know where we are. Then you can't do it. Besides, if I become president in 2024, I want a starring role in Braveheart Part 2. We'll get my father a part in Braveheart Part 2. He'll be the guy who doesn't say anything. He's quiet.
I'll fit that part.
Yes. See how he actually spoke at a portion of the show when he wasn't supposed to? That's comedy timing.
I want you to give me a cue.
I've been giving you cues since 8 o'clock when he started the show. Give this man another drink, please.
We should have rehearsed at 6.
Yeah. We did. I used to do sketch comedy on the Tonight Show. We used to rehearse at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they shot the show at 4 o'clock. And then when the show would go live, it actually, if the joke didn't hit, it didn't make it onto television that night. And you could tell, too, because a lot of people weren't paying attention, so it was kind of brutal. But, I mean, it is a bad thing. Now, of course, he'd been tested a few times for COVID-19, and luckily for my dad, he always tested negative. He went from a huge, successful career in the construction business. How's that funny? He went to a successful career in the construction. Look, there's cousin Lucille. She's actually watching you. Watch the whole thing. It gets better. A lot of people shut this show off within seconds.
She must be laughing her ass off.
She's laughing her ass off. It's hilarious. Uncle Michael's on television. My wife and I miss you, and you're... All right, well, thank you very much. We're going to get a few more question and answers from my father, and then we'll go right to the questions from the audience that's writing into the show. And thank you so much. I don't think I've ever seen everybody write in so fast in my life, and there's Billy Greco. There's your cousin Billy Greco over there.
Is he?
Yeah. That one. Look up.
Billy, you still owe me a glass of wine, Billy.
Oh, great. And we'll be right back after this commercial break. I was kidding. Okay, Dad, you're the greatest interview I've ever had. Unfortunately, my father cannot go to work because the schools are closed. But my father enjoys being a crossing guard in his retirement days. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
I love being a crossing guard. All the kids love me. They give me all kind of presents. They give me cards from Dunkin' Donuts. They write me letters. They hug me. I miss them. I can't wait till school gets back in session again.
Yeah.
I got pictures of kids hugging me.
Well, that's kind of a scary thing to say.
Scary? Why?
No, that's a wonderful thing. Well, because I watch the news a lot. It's a wonderful thing, and I know my father misses being a crossing guard because in retirement it gives everybody some purpose and some fun, and unfortunately, because of the pandemic, he can't go to work either. What are they telling you about it? It's already January.
They keep telling me that they're postponing the days that the school's going to open. And I keep going over to the police station to find out if it's so. But they don't know either. Nobody knows anything.
Yeah. Unfortunately, nobody knows anything.
No.
I have no idea when I'm going back to work. I have no idea when I'm going to be in certain places. And, Jack, you don't really need to write to me this way. It's, it's like kicking somebody in the shins when they're trying to run. That's really sad that you have to go through that. But I know what that's like because I don't know where I'm going to be going. And so this definitely didn't happen when you were younger at all, of course. Do you remember the guy who was the crossing guard when you were a kid going to a school like that?
Yes, I do. We used to call him Fish. He was a cop, and he wore leggings. He stood right on the boulevard, right across from St. John's School. Yes,
You actually remember your crossing guard and you nicknamed him Fish?
Yeah.
Why'd they nickname him Fish?
I have no idea.
Did he smell like a fish?
No.
Did he go fishing a lot?
I don't know idea, but he came aboard with that name.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Nice guy. He was a cop. He wore leggings.
What's a legging?
Like a horseback riding leggings.
Oh, saddle pants?
Saddle pants.
Saddle pants. They called them leggings?
Leggings.
Yeah. I don't think they called them leggings. They had to call him something else.
But he was very good. Very nice guy. We always looked forward to seeing him.
You know what's funny? You and I had the same kindergarten teacher.
You kidding?
No, you know this. What's your kindergarten teacher's name? You remember?
No.
Miss McCorney.
I think Mrs. McGowan.
No, you had Mrs. McCorney. She had wooden teeth.
Yes.
Miss
I
McCorney.
don't know if she was kindergarten or what.
Well, she was kindergarten. My father's kindergarten teacher was Mrs. McCorney. My kindergarten teacher was Mrs. McCorney. And McCorney.
Have a drink.
All right. Here I am at my age. I don't really remember my kindergarten teacher's name as anything other than Mrs. McCorney. Now, maybe we were making fun of her by calling her Mrs. McCorney, and her real name was Mrs. McCormick. But I'm not changing my thoughts No. It was Mrs. McCorney, and we called her Mrs. McCorney because she had corn in her teeth, and her teeth would fall out and scare the shit out of the kids. There's nothing more petrifying than when an older person's teeth fall out because they used to wear dentures, and the glue didn't work, and they would take them out and scare the shit out of you. So he had Mrs. McCorney, Mrs. McCormick, and I had her too. And she was an old lady when he had her. You could imagine what she looked like when I had her. She probably wasn't even alive. She was a ghost. I had the ghost of Mrs. McCorney who removed her teeth. Remember when Uncle Tommy would remove his teeth?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. It's the greatest interviewee I've ever had in my life.
The money ain't that good.
I even write a show. I imitate our uncle. His name was Uncle Tommy, Thomas Mastro Giovanni. When he came over, now I already asked you the question. You backed up on it.
They call him Tommy Shash. Tommy Shash, because every time he talked, they used to say Shash.
Is that
He
why?
never said anything good.
Shash.
Shut up, Shash.
No shit. That's why they called him Sash?
Yeah, Tommy Shash. Because he didn't know what he was talking about. Tommy Shash.
And Fish, the crossing guard.
You know, this ain't rehearsed.
It was Fish, the crossing guard. Shash, the guy who never shashed. And Miss McCormick, who they called Miss McCorney. Give me some nicknames of some other people from back in your time.
Oh, at school, Mrs. McGelwin.
Mrs. McGelwin?
Mrs. McGelwin.
No, I'm like a nickname, like
Mrs.
Fish.
Corney.
Mrs. No help from the audience, please.
Logan Avenue.
Mrs. McGelwin. Mrs. McGelwin.
Not Mrs. McGelwin.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Was Miss McGelwin there? No, I was looking for like these names that you called each other. Everybody had a nickname, like Pasta Pete.
I can't tell you all the names we called them.
Mm-hmm.
I get arrested.
Please indulge us on some of these names that you would get arrested on. I would appreciate that.
Mrs. Schmidt.
What'd they call her?
Mr. Schmidt.
Oh,
Nothing bad.
no. But you said there's some names that would get you arrested on. What are these names?
Oh, I don't know.
Logan Avenue, Mike.
All right, we're getting like requests from the audience. There's nothing I
Really?
could do about it.
Give me some.
And Joan keeps yelling out Logan Avenue. Is there anybody on Logan Avenue that you knew had a really nasty name?
No, but I know Logan Avenue.
Maybe we should have had rehearsals. Maybe I should. Maybe we should have written out I did write out the show. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, where's my part?
Yeah, this is all you. This is all you. My father fixed the snowblower, and as everybody remembers, there was a 1.5 feet of snow that fell on us here in this Scotch Plains area. But for some reason or other, after he fixed the snowblower, it didn't work at all. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it.
All right, let's move on.
When I came back after a while, I kind of figured out that I wasn't getting any gas. And you said you were going to send it out to a guy to have it fixed.
Yeah, well, I couldn't because they're 4 weeks out.
So thank God it didn't snow anymore.
Yeah, it's a good thing it didn't snow anymore. Otherwise, we'd sat in the garage doing nothing, trying to
Alright.
figure out some funny names from Logan Avenue.
Next.
Rex, boy, we're really going through this sheet really quickly. I'm almost out of thoughts. Kids are spoiled these days, right, Dad? They get a lot of toys for Christmas.
Absolutely.
A lot more.
Too many. Too
Okay.
many.
Go ahead. You want to talk about that?
Tons of stores. Like Joan's son, Michael's son, Nico.
You don't want to rat on
He's
anybody.
got-
You are on
he's got
television,
so many toys, it ain't funny.
right?
Too many. He don't know what to play with next.
So how was
Yeah.
it like when you got toys when you were a kid?
Not that many.
Yeah? So what is a toy from when you were a child?
The basic thing when we were a kid is to get a sled, to sled in the snow. A sled was the big thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 sleds in the ceiling here in this house.
That's
I
from
believe
when we were a
these-
kid.
They're your grandfather's?
They were mine.
Yours, okay. So we got some sleds in this house that
From when I was a kid.
From when he was a kid. You know, it's funny that the way they make toys today to not hurt kids, the toys and toboggans and sleds, you can point all you want. They can't see the toy, the sled. They were made of plastic and rubber tubings. His sleds are made of metal. They were driven by rope. So if you ran over somebody else, you probably killed them. But everybody wanted that sled. And the oddest thing is, for some reason or other, nobody got hurt back at that time. Everybody was okay, right?
Always. They weathered the storm.
They weathered the storm.
Yep. They wanted to keep on playing.
Yes. Even if you ran over a friend and he got cut and he started bleeding, he said, that's okay. Let's keep playing.
We never got that bad. I never saw anybody get that bad where they were bleeding. They just got up and kept on going.
This is going to be one of the greatest shows that anybody's ever going to listen to, because it's going to be quiet. It's going to be like listening to soft music. But the music's not really even there. We could have did this on the phone. I could have called him. Hey, what do you think of sleds? Perfect. Great. My father grew up speaking Italian. Can you still speak Italian?
A little bit. When I have to.
All right.
I understand what people are saying. If they're saying anything about me, I know what they're talking about. But for the most part, I don't use it that much.
Okay, let's move on to the next subject.
You got it.
So we don't get big answers in English, and we ain't going to get any answers in Italian.
No.
Perfect. Well, thank you. You've been a great... I can't believe I said Bruce Willis. And nobody's getting this shit. All right. Yeah. Why don't we take in some questions for the audience for either my father or myself? Now, the sponsor who was nice enough to send us a bunch of bottle of wines last week, my dad is drinking. And I just wanted to say, Dora, thank you so much for sending over the wine. We didn't... That was a product shot. You might want to let me do this.
Not bad.
This is the best wine you ever had, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
This is the best wine you ever had.
Can't beat the price.
Oh, one of the greatest wines of all time. Thank you, Dora, and all my friends out Fortino Winery in Santa Clara, Finns Valley. And we'll be right back after this commercial break for Miller Beer.
I thought you were on wine.
Go ahead, have some wine. All right, so here's some questions from my father. Anybody? Go ahead and ask what you want my father to answer for you. And remember, you never want to know what's going to happen. Thank you, Dora, for getting the comedy. We practiced. I get it. And then Cousin Lucille is laughing right now.
It's got to
Salute.
be funny.
I'm dying over here. Free wine for everybody. Hi, Mike. It's Mr. Marino. Hey, Mr. Everybody. Okay, where's the questions? Your dad is adorable. This is priceless. Oh, yeah, well, we scripted the whole thing.
Yeah, we didn't rehearse this, This is off the cuff.
He had to go like this to let you know it's a cuff. Off the cuff.
Off the cuff.
It's for the sign language people.
Right.
This hasn't been scripted. It's off the cuff.
No, he just said you better be here by 7 o'clock.
Priceless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
God knows what she's going to say to me tonight.
All right, well, here comes a question from my father. From Lynn Marie Scrivano, Mr. Marino, do you put peaches in your wine for dessert?
When I could get them, yes. Yeah. When peaches are out.
When he could get them.
Yeah.
Thanks. Next question. Did your dad call his grandparents Nona and No?
No.
He didn't. I would know that too. Oh, there's Marie Casciano. Ask Mike what he can cook. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Dad. Tell everybody what you can cook.
Nothing. I can't cook
He
shit.
can't cook shit. He can make rice and beans.
No, I can make an egg.
He can...
I could cook an egg, make coffee, but that's it.
I cook everything. Mr. Marino, what part of Italy are you from?
I'm not from Italy. I'm from Marion section, Jersey City.
He just answered a guy calling in from California. He probably has no idea what my dad just said.
I don't know the guy from California either.
Great. Catherine Micchio, what part of Italy is your family from, and do you have a fig tree?
Yes, we had fig trees on Sip Avenue. And my grandfather was from Salerno.
Salerno.
Yeah, Salerno, Italy.
Like me, burns hot water. He loves his Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes,
Can you make burnt toast?
no,
He can't even make burnt toast.
no, she does for me.
Anybody else? Wait a minute.
You're kidding.
Hold on a minute. Questions for Mike Marino Sr.
Hope I'm getting paid for this.
You're gonna make a lot of money. How many times did you whack Mike? Did you hit me when I was a kid?
Absolutely.
Yeah. There was a time I kept shitting in my diapers, and he shoved it in my face because I was too old.
Well, one of the biggest things about you that you didn't sleep at night. You used to sleep on my chest in bed. I used to have to keep you on my chest in bed so you would sleep. You didn't sleep.
I remember that. I was 14.
Maybe it was. That's why it took him so long.
Kira wants to know what I was like when I was a kid.
Like any other brat.
Just any old brat.
Yeah, good kid, nice kid. Like Paul and Michael. Anthony,
I am Michael.
Anthony and Paul.
I have two brothers. One's name is
Yes.
Paul, one's name is Anthony.
They're good kids.
I'm the middle child, and my name is Michael.
The worst time was when they sat around the table and I had to make them eat. A lot of times they didn't want to eat, and I had to be forceful to make them eat.
Yes, I remember how forceful they were.
I was.
In today's day, you can't force a kid to eat. They'll call the police. When I was a kid, they put a meatball in my mouth, cupped my mouth like this, and shook my head until I swallowed it.
Well, the same thing with timeout.
Yeah.
You know, today a timeout is different than the timeout when we were kids. You know how we used to have timeout?
Yes.
Boom! Timeout.
Yeah, knockout.
Knockout.
Wasn't it amazing? The
Time
times are
out.
different. My mother would say, "Your father's going to get the belt," and then we just started crying. It was the thought of getting your ass kicked that made you cry. I was bleeding before I got hit. Mr. Marino, who is your favorite singer?
Hang on, I got to think about this a little bit.
We only have an hour. Jim, how you doing, Jim? My father's going to answer your question any minute. What does your dad eat for breakfast? That's Jackson Diana.
Listen,
Oh, you know what you eat.
my favorite.
Who's your
movie-
favorite singer?
My favorite movie star was in Dancing, Dirty Dancing.
Oh,
What was her name?
your favorite actress was in Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
Jennifer Grey?
No.
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 She was nice, Patrick Swayze.
Black hair.
Oh, that describes it.
No, what was her name? Joan, what was her name? The girl I like.
Be dancing, hon. You're not thinking of Dirty Dancing. It's another one.
Aw.
Hey, listen, somebody just wrote in, do you wish your son Mike would get married?
I don't know. Right now, he seems to be a pretty happy guy. if he gets married,
Yeah,
you
why
never
fuck
know.
it up?
You never know. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, if he was married, you think he could do all this?
Yeah, all right. Is it gravy or sauce?
Gravy.
Gravy. Anybody remember why you said gravy?
I have no idea.
You don't know why,
No.
because it had meat in it. Was I a pain in the ass when I was a kid?
No more than any other kid.
Yes, most kids were normal pain in the asses.
Yes.
What
No,
would your
kids were
son
good.
do as a kid that made you
I
crazy?
had control of my kids.
Yeah, he had control. Let Dad have some vino. This is getting great. Reminds me of some of the things my dad would say. Yeah, right? He's got that old school thing going on.
Absolutely.
Greenville here in Mr. Marino.
Well, you keep talking about the old times.
Well, because you are older.
Absolutely.
Mike, do you remember Facetta's restaurant on Kennedy Boulevard? Dad, look at this way.
Say what?
Do you remember Facetta's restaurant on Kennedy Boulevard?
No.
That'll be a no, Paul. What's the best Italian restaurant down the Jersey Shore?
IHOP.
What's the best Italian restaurant on the Jersey Shore? He said IHOP.
Yeah, they're all Italians.
Italian hop. he, he eats at the Italian hop.
Italian hop. I don't have no favorite restaurant, I'm sure.
F that. If my kids don't eat, then they go to bed hungry. Yeah, well, we had that lesson. Never really worked, though.
No.
You would get up in the middle of the night and he would eat it.
No, my kids eat it all the time.
Yeah. And
You
yes,
gotta eat before you go to bed.
and we got hit with the belt. Even the
Oh.
belt buckle.
Whatever.
While I'm reading, people say, did you ever get hit with the belt? That's because there were homemade meatballs. Did Aunt Rose beat the shit out of him? Who's Aunt Rose? Oh, your mother.
My mother beat
Yeah.
shit.
Did your mother kick you ass?
Only
That's
one
from-
time. Only one time.
Only the one time.
Yeah, she beat the shit out of me one time because I hit the girl next door with a snowball in the head. And her mother came in the house and she told my mother, look what you did to what your son did to my daughter. And she was crying like crazy. So mommy took the broom and start whacking me from hitting the girl.
Your
Yeah.
mother.
My mother.
She hit you with a broom.
A broom. Yeah. Yeah, she was hitting me with a broom. Yep.
Did Aunt Rose beat you? Yeah, well, she beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, because I hit Henrietta, the girl next door, with a frozen snowball. I threw it at her from across the street and hit her right in the head. Boom! It was a shot that nobody could get. And she came into the house and told my mother. And my mother didn't know what to do.
Look at the kid.
She had to beat the shit out of me. Next.
I used to carry a wooden spoon with me to whack my kids.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Grab that wooden spoon right over there, Dad.
Where?
See it?
Oh, this big thing?
Yeah.
No shit.
We're going to show everybody a real wooden spoon right now to do a nice shout out to our friends at the podcast, The Wooden Spoon. Live from my mother's basement. This is the biggest wooden spoon in the history of wooden spoons.
Yeah.
Not that you hit your kids, you knocked them out for at least a month and a half.
You go to jail for that.
You can go to jail for this.
That's
Thank
really
you to our
time out.
friends at the Wooden Spoon.
More than a timeout.
Just
Thank you,
Time.
Nico. I really appreciate you giving me that gift. I love you for it. Thank you very much. You guys got a great podcast, The Wooden Spoon. Hey, fellas, how you doing? I'm calling in from London. You boys from the Bronx, by any chance? No, Alex. This whole show is about New Jersey. We're not anywhere near the Bronx.
absolutely not.
Did you spend time in the Bronx?
Never happened.
Never happened. Because the Bronx is not a nice place.
No.
How's the vino? And that question's coming in from someone who gave us the vino. All right, Dad, you're on.
Good stuff, really. I'll tell you. A little bit of ice would have been good, but this is really good wine. No kidding. Unbelievable. Salute.
Well, there you go, from my father live. The vino is delicious. It just needs a piece of ice. Red wine is always better with ice.
Well, all
I was
depends.
being sarcastic. God, I hate when they don't get that.
Go ahead.
Did you play pinochle?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
We never played pinochle.
Well, we guys used to sit around and play pinochle.
Guys played pinochle?
Yeah, in the club, La Salle Club.
Oh, the club. The
club.
LaSalle Club.
Yeah, La Salle Club.
Right. Used
Oh,
to be
yeah.
used to be a club where all the guys used to hang out and play pinochle
Well, for the most part, we
and
played
breach,
breach.
breach,
Most of the time.
and fingers.
Yes. The smarter guys played pinochle.
The smarter guys,
Yeah, the dopes didn't play
the
pinochle.
stupid people played breach,
Right,
and the smart guys played pinochle.
right,
That's
Bunch-
why at the LaSalle Club nobody played pinochle.
right.
They played fingers.
Bunch of
I
dopes.
got two.
Bunch of,
There was a lot of Italian butchers at the time, but they couldn't play fingers because they didn't have any.
right. Okay.
That's a 2. No, it's a 1. Well, are you-
Well, you ought to do good with this show.
here comes some questions.
Be easy, easy.
How about the Tube Bar? Are you familiar with the Tube Bar?
Up on Journal Square, the Tube Bar.
You know it?
I heard of it, but I never went there.
He heard of it, but he never went.
That's where the trains were.
That's where the trains were.
The Tube Bar, right on Journal Square.
Right.
Yeah, I never went there.
Isn't it funny how they describe things from back in the day?
Yeah.
Nowadays, you'll say, well, yeah, it's on the corner of 1st and Main. And then in his day, it was like, yeah, it's by the trains.
The Tube Bar,
The Tube Bar's by the train
by the train station.
and the fence. That the one you mean? Yeah, okay.
Salute.
How many hearts did you break, Dad? Were you a heartbreaker?
I had a few affairs. I had a few girlfriends.
We always thought Anthony was strange. Let that marinate.
No, it never got that far.
He's not that much younger than us. Hold on a minute. IHOP laughed my ass off. Josh, how are you? It's nice to see you. Best pan ever. You remember Bibba from Honokan, Hoboken? Do you mean Hoboken, Frank? What's Bibba? Do you remember Bibba?
No.
Well, everybody knows everybody in Hoboken because of back in the day, our boy Frank Sinatra was from that area. Josh Marciello, say hello to my dad. Debbie DeLeese, now she owns the Wonder Bar down in Asbury Park.
Oh, never been there. Where is it?
I love him, love old school. Hope you bring him to the Wonder Bar. Wonder
Yeah.
Bar is in Asbury Park. Just for conversation's sake, say it's the greatest place on earth. Dad, come on.
It's the greatest place on earth.
Bingo. All
Where the-
right.
Where
Can't
the
wait.
hell is it?
In Asbury Park.
All right. Where? Asbury Park's a big place.
Yeah, it's on the corner. It's on the corner by the train. Favorite Italian meal from Mike Novello. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Remember Mike Novello and Tony used to come down here all the time?
A little bit.
All right. What's your favorite Italian meal, Dad?
Wait, I'm thinking. Joni, help me out.
Nah. My dad had the car 9 tails instead of the belt, the cat 9 tails. What the hell is that?
That's the thing you hit the kids with.
You know what that is?
Your cat of nine tails?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a leather strap. All the strings. You just
Yeah.
whack. Hit the kids with it. But I never hit you with it.
Yeah.
I never had one.
Isn't this great? Weapons of mass destruction to teach your kids how to be good kids. And he actually knows what it is. It bothers me when people say noodles and not pasta. We hate when people say pasta, I gotta be honest with you. We always said macaroni, right?
Yeah.
Some people say pasta.
Well, it depends.
Yeah. I'm another Marino from Marion. Live across the street from you on Wallace Avenue. Michelle Marino Sweeney. Oh, that's Michael Marino's sister, right? Remember Michael Marino lived across the street from us on Wallace Avenue.
I'm thinking.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Michael Marino. Chucky Marino.
Oh, Chucky.
That
yeah.
must be Chucky Marino's sister.
It wasn't across the street.
Hey,
it's
Michelle.
On the left.
It wasn't exactly directly across the street. You had to move a little. We're talking about a city. Everybody's in the building. Remember the good old days when you lived in the building? You went trick-or-treating, you never left the building.
Michelle, I wish I could see who you are.
You kind of can if you
Yeah.
just look at the picture. I will show you later.
That's
All right.
righty.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yes, Michelle.
We're going to move on just a little bit more, and then we got to get out of here. Your dad is so cute. God bless him. I think our fathers grow up together. Oh, Cheryl Kelly Lee says she thinks she's related to you. Katharina Micchio says she wants one, but I don't know what that is, but I think she wants that string belt you were talking about. What's it called again? The belt.
It was called a cat of nine tails.
Yes, Katharina Micchio would like a cat of nine tails, but she's old enough to use that for something completely different. Do you know what that means?
Hell do I know.
It's a sex toy. You're going to spank somebody with it.
Oh,
All right, good, Dad.
she needs that to get her off.
Who's your favorite boxer?
My favorite boxer?
Yeah,
I guess Muhammad Ali.
yeah, Muhammad Ali. That would make sense. Is he boxing these days?
No.
No. He's not doing any more boxing.
No.
All right. Well, we got to get ready to get going, Dad. We now got another few minutes. Thank you so much, everybody, for writing in and asking all these questions to my father. He's having a lot of fun down here in the basement, and I think in the next half hour, when we shut off the show, he's probably going to drink so much, we probably won't get him to stop talking at all. But at least we got some good answers.
I didn't know what this whole thing was all about in the beginning.
Yes, this is very confusing. I've been doing it for 2 years.
You have, but I didn't. You sort of trapped me.
Right now, we're actually getting a question from one of our cousins,
Who's
Michael Berardo, who's in Toronto, Canada.
that? Holy shit.
Hi, Michael.
Hi,
How
Michael.
are you? Tell your family we all said hello.
Michael. Hello.
Right. It's nice to see everybody out there. Tell your family we said hello. Happy holidays. Stay warm because they're in Toronto. I'm
Yeah,
sure you guys are experiencing.
Maybe one of these days we'll get the hell up there to see you in Canada.
Yes. We could see them right now, quite honestly.
Really?
All right, we miss you guys too.
Yes. God bless you all.
Wait a minute.
Dominic and everybody.
What was your dad's first car?
My first car. A Plymouth.
Oh, yeah?
1950 Plymouth.
Well, Jackson Diane is asking that question because he wants you to hear to say you had a black Cadillac.
Yeah, I did.
That
That
black
was-
Cadillac was badass. We had
but
pictures of it.
It wasn't my first car, though.
Right.
Yeah, I had a black Buick and a black Cadillac. No. Brand new.
The first car accident his 3 kids were in was right here in Scotch Plains on Grand Street.
Right.
We were going up the street, and some girl ran a stop sign, crashed right into the front of the car.
Oh, you remember that, huh?
Yes, I remember every single thing. Scared the bejesus out of the 3 little kids because we went flying to the windshield. But my father did one of those things with an arm and stuck it out like that, and all 3 kids were saved. We didn't get hurt at all by the accident. It was the punch in the face that all 3 of us took by the arm that made us lose our front teeth. And he got out of the car, took the key out of the ignition, and went to go see if the other person was all right. While the 3 of us were in the back seat going, Daddy's got to stop smoking. Because if you remember back in those days, you could smoke while you drove a car. I remember we'd sit in the back and say, "Hey, Dad, can you change the radio station?" And he'd say, "When you're old enough to drive, you could change your own radio station. We're going to listen to this shit right now because it's my car." Nowadays, that would get a guy like that sent to prison. Hey, there's Billy Wilkins. Tell your dad I said hello and shop around the block from me and my father. Billy Wilkins, it's nice to see you. In fact, why don't we do some of those announcements?
Hey, Billy Wilkins. Nice to see you.
All right.
I wish I could see your face right now.
Well, we'll show you his face in a little bit.
Nice to talk to you.
Folks, I hope you had a lot of fun watching tonight's show. Billy Wilkins and I are going to be doing a show together at the end of the month. The last Sunday of every month, I'm doing a new show that anybody could tune in and watch. It's only $4.99 to watch the show. The show is called Not So Late Show, The Not So Late Show with Mike Marino. I'm going to have a variety show. I'm going to have other comedians on the show. I'm going to have singers on the show. I might even have a magician on the show. Maybe we'll have my father on the show because he plays great instruments. Not musical instruments, just instruments. There's this one that you whack people with. It's called a something something belt. These are called callbacks. Anyhow, I hope you people are appreciating the sarcasm that comes with a show like this. Every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, I do this show live from my mother's basement. We have a lot of new sponsors that are going to be hanging out with us starting next Tuesday night. And I want to thank all my sponsors from around the world that have been with me since the beginning. We're having a lot of fun, and we're going to keep on going. I do have some stand-up performances, but not until the month of February. And then I'm going to be back at the Count Basie on March 20th in Red Bank, New Jersey, which is going to be my first return to one of the most glorious theaters in the world, the Count Basie in Red Bank, New Jersey on March 20th. Other than that, you guys have been a great crowd. We haven't had a lot of fun. Don't forget to go to MikeMarino.net and subscribe. You can pick up some t-shirts that say Marino 2024. We also have the masks that are still on sale. I'm on Patreon. If you want to donate some money, anywhere from $1,000 to $100,000 would be perfect. The more money I make, the bigger the guests become. I'm milking this one. That is fucking hilarious. We got to get going. Remember, let's make America. Look at the camera like you're in a good mood. You looked over there like you can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Look straight at the camera. Straight at the camera. You had the greatest. Stop applauding. There's nobody here. Nobody came down here.
I can't wait till the next show.
Yes. We're going to make America Italian.
I'll be prepared for it.
We're going to make America Italian again, right, Dad? Remember, you don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing. And how do I end every single one of my shows? By always saying the same thing. You have to say, don't take no shit from nobody.
No.
You have to. It's the way we end the show. Look at the camera.
Yeah.
And you go, don't take no shit from nobody. You ready?
Don't take no shit
no,
from
nobody.
nobody.
We're going to do it together.
Together?
Together. Ready?
Go ahead. Don't
take no shit from nobody. All right. Good night. All right, Dad, you could leave from being back here now. Go ahead, Dad.
Hey, sweetheart, this was not rehearsed.
Hey, folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.